welcome back, everybody.
Yeah.
Welcome back for us. This is we had a week off.
Yes, we did.
I don't know if it was much a week off. We gave you 2 episodes in 1 week, so is it really a week off?
Well, it was a week off for us, not necessarily the listeners, though.
Yeah, for true. That's so true. We are back after our major episode 60. Shout out to Zeno Robinson, first of all, for doing that episode with us.
Amazing episode, right?
Very much so amazing. Thank you to everyone who supported and shared and all this other stuff, and it managed to come out during a great weekend where the Pokemon Journeys anime came out, so that was fun.
Yeah.
I've cleared it all out.
You did knock it out?
Yeah, I tricked my mind into thinking it was longer because they're like, oh, every 3 months we're going to drop 12 episodes. I remember that in the statement, and I was like, what I really want is for them to drop 15 episodes every 12 months.
I know, yeah, right.
So I think every 12 weeks. So I think in my mind, I trained myself for 15 episodes, and then by the time it hit 12, I was like, all right, we'll play the next episode.
This is it, right?
And then I was like, wait, no, this is dumb. It's finished. And I was like, man.
It's cute, man. I have like 3 episodes to go personally, and then I ended up going out of town, so I haven't really got to knock it out as much as I want to. But it's cool, man.
Well, listen, you're in the wilderness currently.
I am. First time camping, actually. So this is probably the first and last time I'm going to be doing a podcast while I'm camping.
Oh, yeah, 100%. First of all, I appreciate your dedication to this, to be out in the wilderness, and appreciate the whatever cells tower that you're by.
Hey, man, honestly, I'm the only one for whatever reason in my party with service. So, shout out AT&T. Yeah, I mean, I'm not like one to like. I'm not a fan of AT&T too. But I am, but it works, bro.
Okay,
I'm out here.
Right. No, you're right. It works. Trust me, I got AT&T too. It works.
Yes, you know about it.
Yeah, it's a little expensive, but
it is a little expensive. But it makes sense now. It makes sense now, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you.
So many different things, but yes, I mean the last week, and then it also came out during the episode 87, 88 of My Hero Academia, which managed to get dubbed. I didn't think both episodes would be dubbed.
Oh, that was a nice surprise, man.
Yeah, they surprised us with both episodes. So they kind of capped off the season, so you get the debut of Hawks, and you get that major fight with Endeavor that we talked about.
It was so good.
A couple episodes ago in dub. So you're hearing Zeno Robinson, you're hearing everybody in the My Hero Academia sort of world kind of go off at the same time. So it was very, very nice. I'm glad that people appreciated it, that people enjoyed it. Hopefully we got a couple new listeners from it. If you're interested in this sort of thing that we're doing here. Also want to give a grand shout out to the fellows at the Big Eyes podcast.
Yes, sir.
LJ Jamal, as I know him. He calls himself LJ.
Right.
I think LJ.
I never call him that personally myself.
Jamal,
I'm always like, Jamal, what's up?
But nonetheless, LJ himself, he will now have a co-host, AD. They're the acronym brothers, gotta be at this point. That's how they refer to themselves. I can be JG. I don't know what it is, but it works, and I'm glad now you're going to get a lot
of J's, right?
Yeah, listen.
Damn.
I don't think it's by coincidence. I don't know. Maybe that's my thing in the world.
It just happened this way.
It just happened. I don't think it's by coincidence, though. I think it's by fate. Nonetheless, I do want to give a congratulations to them because now AD is now the official co-host of the podcast,
right?
Which is incredibly amazing. He's someone who is very knowledgeable on manga and anime and all this other stuff. He's a great resource for us. Just letting us know like what's fire and amazing and what we should check out and what we shouldn't check out and all this other stuff like that. So
he absolutely deserves it.
Yeah, he's really truly part of the family. We want to thank you for joining on. And I mean, the Big Eyes podcast, their episodes now are probably going to be twice as long, maybe even 3 times as long, because they just have so much to talk about. You have so much to bounce off of one another. So it's going to be good. So make sure you tune into the Big Eyes podcast, which returned last week and is, weekly manga, weekly everything. Let's get in a little bit before we get into the episode, because this is quite honestly my favorite arc in this season 2 thing. It just is. Before we get into that, let's get in a little bit of the anime news. I want to. I don't know if you've heard any of these things. If you haven't,
what's going on?
We can always, see how it goes. First of all, there's a lot of anime starting to come back. The COVID can only hold anime back for so long.
That's right. Hunter x Hunter is not one of them, so don't worry about it.
No, there's way more. There's way more things in the world that's stopping Hunter x Hunter or Dragon Ball Super. Quite honestly, don't know where it is.
Yeah, no idea. I feel like they're working on the low, dog. I really do. I feel like they're gonna hit us with like 2 fucking sagas in a row.
I don't even want to talk about it now because it's such a source of. You know what? We are going to talk about it in a sense, but. We are going to talk about Super and stuff like a little bit. It's one of my topics nonetheless. Right, but animes are starting to come back. So, Digimon is going to come back. I believe Black Clover is coming back. Hopefully Haikyuu returns because I've been watching that anime. I really love it. I finished season 3. Season 3 was incredible because they managed to make a 10-episode season based on one volleyball match. And it ended up being incredible.
That's fire.
It is something like obviously done with a purpose, and I love the idea of it. It's so fire. I recommend everyone check this anime out, Haikyuu, because it is just once you get past we're developing all of these characters, and we have to make you get to know them. It's amazing. That
you become very confident saying the title.
Yes. I mean, yeah.
I have to.
To be honest with you,
right now,
to be honest with you, I still don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. But the way I'm pronouncing it,
you sound confident this time. Yeah, I was gonna say,
assured. I'm assured.
Last time you were like, haiku. Now you sound for sure. So that's
listen.
Dope.
I don't even know how it's pronounced formally, but you know what? I'm stepping with my foot with it because you know what? I love this anime. I love everything it's brought. I'm ready to start something new. I will be starting something new hopefully within the next few days. I just have to finish catching up on this thing. Maybe I'll dive into the manga. I don't know. I heard the manga is supposed to end now too.
Why not? Why?
I actually heard the manga is supposed to end now too, so that will be interesting as well. Speaking of mangas that is end, The Promised Neverland manga finished.
Congratulations, man. Going out on top. I love it. I love this new era, man. I really do.
New era of ending animes.
Yeah,
ending mangas.
Yeah, well,
and the manga's right on top.
Right, when it makes sense. I feel like some things stretch out for so long, people lose interest, or like they're just so content with the energy that they're continuing to get. Although it may be so watered down, and like I feel like Promised Neverland, Demon Slayer, they made sure it's like, hey, let's make sure our shit is not watered down. Let's give them everything we got, and then that's that. Like let's not do any weird shenanigans.
Listen, they talked about it on the Big Eyes podcast. We're talking about it now. We're not going to get into formal. You can listen to that podcast to see what goes on and how everyone feels about it and stuff like that. But it's incredible, and they're going to do a live action sort of show, which makes sense. I think we've all agreed kind of unanimously that this is a kind of show that you can kind of do a live action and get away with it not being terrible because there are no otherworldly forces. It's a pretty like realistic psychological thriller. I mean, there are demons in it and stuff like that. Yes, you will hear fireworks in my background because niggas. But yes, you can definitely make a live action show from this because it's good. It's one of those shows that you can see. What's another show like that? There's one on Netflix. Oh my god, with kids, and it's a thriller and it's really, really popular. Shit, I forgot what it's called. I don't watch actual shows. Damn.
It's an anime?
No, it's not an anime. It's an actual show. It's quite popular on Netflix, actually.
Talking about like Stranger Things?
Yes, there we go. Boom.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
yes, it'll be in that kind of realm of things.
Yeah, it could definitely work.
So it can definitely work.
Give them the right budget, man. Give them the right budget.
Right. And they've ended the show, so that means they have a full trajectory kind of thing to go off of. It doesn't need to be like, oh, you don't know where the manga's going. Well, let's go our own way. Like, it doesn't need to be one of those things.
Right.
So that is happening, and I'm all here for it. But shout out to The Promised Neverland, which ended. You can read it up on it. I'm trying to still figure out which manga I'm going to get into next. My friend Jason said I should check out Assassination Classroom.
Okay. Yeah. There's a lot going on there, but yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. I will check it out. What else? You
can start watching Baki again if you want.
No, I'm not going to do that. With that, I'm just not. It's just I know the new season came out. I'm not interested.
It did. I hear you, bro.
Did you watch it?
I'm about done with season 1 right now.
How do you feel
Eric
about it?
and Jamal love that shit, you know. So it's extremely. I mean, it's extreme. It's gore, you know. There's gore in literally
No,
every scene.
I've seen it. I've seen the first 3 episodes,
But
but
I was
that
a
is where I
little
ended.
confused earlier on about what was actually happening. I didn't know if they were just like extremely good at martial arts or if they were like some fucking, you know, they had powers or something. I wasn't really sure what was going on, but whatever.
Right.
If you want to watch something extremely violent, it's definitely your thing.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. What else did I have? Oh, so there was this tweet. It was this Dragon Ball tweet. I quoted and already gave my thoughts on this, but they asked, considering where we're at in the manga, have you been keeping up with the manga? I feel like you haven't.
No,
okay, because I just felt like you would have. I would have known if you did.
Where I'm at is the Vegeta stuff with Ultra Instinct.
Vegeta stuff with Ultra Instinct. Okay, so wait, he's on the planet.
I mean, Jesus, I'm sorry. I don't know why I said Ultra Instinct. Instant transmission.
Okay, you know what? Fine, you're there. That's good enough.
Yeah.
So the tweet that I responded to, they said, okay, rank these 5 villains in Dragon Ball. They had Frieza, Cell, Majin Buu, Zamasu, and Moro. And from best to least, which one do you think is the best villain out of those 5 to all the way down to the least? Now, I have a list. Go ahead. You know what? I would love to hear your thoughts.
To me, personally, I know people love Frieza. I get it, you know. But to me, like, Cell is like the best villain of all time in Dragon Ball. In my opinion. I think Perfect Cell was truly perfect. Like, and you know, I had just got done watching it, so you know why I'm. I was texting you about it last week. I finished up the Cell games, and I was just like, I just thought he was just so, like, he was hilarious. He was evil, super arrogant, super confident. His story was just great, and I mean, right after that, obviously, I'm gonna go with Frieza. Man, I don't know. I'm not really interested in Moro yet. Like,
really? All right,
I'm not, bro. I think I need to see it. You know, like I feel like I need to see him. Like,
well, here was my list thus far. I had Frieza on top.
That's fair.
Because
I respect
Frieza is the ultimate Frieza.
I'm not mad at it, bro. I can't be mad.
So much of Dragon Ball Z is affected, and everything you could say, even Vegeta and Goku come together is because of Frieza. Everything is kind of there's a whole bunch on Frieza. Even when they do the Majin Buu thing, they mention Frieza. Even when they talk about Beerus, Beerus has some relation to Frieza and letting Planet Saiyan or whatever the hell it's called anymore. I don't remember what Planet Vegeta.
Yeah.
So then I actually have, what did I have? You know what?
You said
I had Frieza. Let me look at my actual list because
it makes
sense. No, yeah, I responded to this.
Bro, I can't be mad at that's why it was a tweet. I can't be mad at Frieza at 1, bro. I mean, obviously, like I said, like I would never be like, how to anybody who says that. I really admire the way that Cell kind of established himself.
Okay, so weird next one. I have Zamasu next. Let me stop you right here.
Zamasu had a plan, bro.
Zamasu had a plan.
I'm not mad at that either. He'd be third for me.
He accomplished so much.
He did.
Think he messed up a lot, but he had conviction and he had he had something that you could attach on, like tangibly attach on, that you could make you believe in. So I'm going to give Zamasu as the second one. He really, in terms of all of them, he had something that you can believe in. Third, now this is where it goes off the thing. I say Moro, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah, tell me why.
It's not Cell. And I'll say the reason why it's not Cell is because there's more thing. Cell he ends up affecting so little in the grand scheme of things.
You're right.
In terms of he's only this kind of one arc sort of deal. He's this kind of one track mind. He ends up kind of being more of a Saiyan than actually anything. Like that's how he kind of, his motivations are like, I want to be the strongest, but like, where does it go from there?
I will say his threat was different too. Like he only really like threatened to blow up the world a few times, but like he wasn't really like He was still very nonchalant about it. Yeah, like, yo, let's have a game and let me put rules to this thing. And then in the middle of the game, forget the rules. There are no rules. And then when he's losing, then he's like, okay, I'm about to blow this shit up.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I love Cell. The Android Saga is still my favorite saga. So I love Cell. Moro, he is just done. First of all, he's this wizard from a million miles away. First of all, terrorizing the universe. I love it. His powers in itself are just kind of very original in that he's able to steal the life force from the planet and use it against his own. And that's
it is very tight. It's like a reverse spirit bomb type ordeal.
Yeah,
I like it.
He has managed to pretty much kind of put the entire universe under a similar threat, which I like as well, because it's like, okay, he's got a reputation, you know what I mean? Yeah. He's like, he went plus bonus points for like ruining Namek. Like it's just, I got a soft spot for guys.
If Namek gets fucked up, it's respect, no?
You know what I'm saying? So, and then this kind of arc, he transforms again. He's got this new transformation. He's very handsome again, of course.
Okay.
Almost Cell-esque. It's almost Cell-esque.
Okay. I have not seen this. So
the new chapters, I would say, I'll say this: Vegeta was trending, and you know why? Because Vegeta got a new power. But also, you know why? Vegeta once again got Vegeta'd, and that's how Vegeta ends up. So, which I thought was going to happen. Honestly,
I think you said that to me.
I was like, you could teach him a bunch of new tricks. It doesn't matter because this is about Goku. Like at the end of the day, this is about Goku. But prove me wrong. Prove me wrong is what I'll say. So for number 4, I have Cell, and then number 5, I have Boo, because Boo just, I didn't really like Boo. I don't. He's original. He's very original. I'll say that, but I didn't really like Boo.
I have a soft spot for Kid Boo, but that's really about it for me. I feel you.
Yeah, no. So that was my 5. I mean, it's an interesting thing to look at, kind of the major villains in the entire Dragon Ball arc, and kind of see where they line up and all this other stuff like that. So, yeah. I mean, hopefully one day. I mean, we'll start the summer at Kame House thing soon. We'll go through a movie. We'll talk about whatever.
That'll be really fun
at this point. So we'll revisit Dragon Ball at some point. Oh, and then we're revisiting it this fall if you got your letter. I mean, yes, we're coming back to Dragon Ball this fall. So maybe the conversation is necessary. Maybe they'll bring back Super. Probably not. But
everything we do has been timed really well. So I'm hoping we'll go over Frieza, and then like we're at the tail end of the season.
Super's back.
And Super's back. Yeah, that'd be like perfect. So I guess we'll see what happens.
Oh my God. Well, since Super is not back, of course we have to continue My Hero Academia season 2.
Yes.
Of this entire thing. Last time we left off 2 weeks ago, so we kind of have to do a reminder. Well, the sports festival arc is finished. Mm-hmm. We gone through Todoroki's incredible amount of baggage surrounding everything.
Super emotional stuff.
Bakugo won the sports festival.
So he's so annoying,
man. So there's a lot of fallout from the sports festival in this new arc. I mean, yeah, it's this new arc. So it's a new arc of things. So this entire new arc kind of surrounds the hero killer Stain.
Yeah.
My favorite.
Yeah. Yeah, this is big time, man.
He is someone who, quite honestly, his look stuck out to me immediately. The fact he has so many knives and so many ways to kill you. Yeah. And his quirk.
His quirk is weird, but it's awesome. Yeah.
It's introduced. I love the way it's introduced because it's, they're doing President Mike eventually is the one who says all the quirks. And he's like, blood curdle. And I was like, yes, that is fire. That's how you say it.
It is really cool.
They were like, yo, say it like
you say it like this. Blood curdle. You had to hit the curdle right, or it wasn't going to work. Like,
no, of course not. Blood curdle. It's just, who thinks of that? Curdle.
I don't know. Bro. It sounds nasty, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit, a little freaky. So the fallout from the UA Sports Festival. So there are several things that fall out. But they do a nice little intro episode back to kind of like cool the tension. It was like, okay, people are having family crises, and Bakugo just got chained up, and Iida's brother almost got murked. Maybe we have to lighten the mood a little bit. We kind of have to lighten the mood a little bit. So this episode is called, I think it's called Today We're Picking Names or something along those lines. Mm-hmm. So they're picking names, part of a hero thing that kind of we never see. We never really see how Batman becomes.
Like how does it? No, not that.
How does he name himself Batman?
Yeah, no, bro. It's not. Usually, there's a scene where, you see Batman, and then the villain's like, "What is that? Who is that?" And then he says, "I'm Batman." And then that's like, oh,
it's the
cool.
people who name him, right? Like it's the
like the police, it's the Batman, that type of thing. And you know what? That works.
Spider abilities. Oh my god.
Spider-Man. I don't know, man.
No, this is the society surrounded in the My Hero Academia universe is much more thought out and organized. They're like, no, we have these kids picking names when they're in high school because you got to market yourselves. So what we're going to do is we're going to quickly go over names. First of all, they're also pseudo celebrities, which is kind of cool. They're like, oh, we saw you at the sports festival, not those lame ass Olympics that I never watched.
Yeah.
So there's pseudo celebrities. Let's go through these people's names. Let's kind of rate them, see which one you like the best, what maybe didn't like the best.
Let's do it.
There's 20 students, so there's kind of 20 names ish. We'll see what this. So Aoyama, I cannot stop twinkling.
I'm going an F here.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm going straight F.
Oh, for real? Okay.
Yeah,
I love this name. I love this name.
Of
I don't
course.
know why. I don't know why.
I can't do it, bro.
Ashido, she initially picks Alien Queen, and now she's Pinky. So
Pinky, C plus, man. C plus, man.
Yeah. I was like, you tried, kind of.
Yeah, I would have preferred the other ones. Alien Queen.
Asui becomes Frobby.
You already know. Listen, man, that's an S rank. If I could give it an S instead of an A plus, I would. But Frobby is literally like my, I love
Frobby's toys. Frobby is marketing. Frobby is everything,
bro.
I'm in love with Frobby.
Her quirk is like, bro, she's got like 10 different things going on just because she's a frog.
Right. Yeah. It's easy. I love the
amazing,
name.
I love it.
Kirishima becomes Crimson Riot.
Yeah, that's fire. That's a fire. That's a fire name. A.
What happened?
That's an A. A plus.
Oh, okay. Yes, it's an A. Kyoka becomes Earphone Jack. That's the girl with earphone jacks for lobes for her ears.
I don't dislike the name. It's okay. It's cool.
Earphone Jack, it's a little,
It sounds like some tech and shit, but it's cool.
It's interesting. I wonder how they're going to treat her kind of moving forward.
Because it's sort of one-dimensional to an extent,
Yeah.
Even when she was when she went on her jobs later on, I think I'm getting ahead of myself. I think.
No, go ahead, please. Get ahead.
She was. I remember her saying all I did was plug my ears in some things and listen. Like she didn't really get much action. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
They may have something nice for her, prepared. Who knows?
I hope so. She's not like the other girls, and I say that.
No, she's not.
Like, she doesn't have the anime titties or anything like that. Like, it's
right.
She has something different going on with her.
Yeah.
So,
but she's cool though.
Yeah, she gets some good stuff in season 4. Look out for that.
Yes. Yes.
Shoji becomes Tentacle.
It's whatever. Sounds like playing Pokemon, basically.
Yeah. Sero, tape for elbows, becomes Cellophane.
That's a hard name to me. I like the name, but I don't like the character.
I think Sero's going to be good. I think he's just going to.
I
just think he is.
It works.
He's a handy quirk.
The quirk works, bro. But I'm just saying,
yeah,
I don't know. I wouldn't bring him on a mission with me if I had to pick.
Gosh, you wouldn't bring him
his elbows, man.
Yeah,
they freak me out.
Tie up the villains. Ojiro becomes Tail Man.
No comment.
I expect that from him. I expect that from a guy who looks like him.
Yeah.
Sato becomes Sugar Man once again. Same. They must sit together. Kaminari becomes Charge Bolt.
Yeah, that's fire. But it does sound like some new Pikachu move coming in a year.
Yeah, Charge Bolt. Why not? 100 hit points.
Right.
Charges and also raises special defense at the same time.
Yeah.
Might be one of those. Hagakure becomes Invisible Girl. Why not?
Yeah,
She's invisible.
Yeah, I'm never mad though.
Yeah, it's not. It is what it is. Yaoyorozu Creatai. She creates things.
That's cool.
She's
like
Creatai. Sounds a little wizardy, but whatever.
It's cool. It's cool.
Todoroki is keeping his name. He's like, I am Shoto. And I said,
yeah, as he should.
Yeah, you're cool. You don't need a name to buckle you down.
Thank God they didn't just call him like half hot, half cold or some shit.
Icy hot.
Yeah. Oh man, that would have been bad if that stuck, dude. I would have been mad as fuck.
Oh my God. Tokoyami becomes Tsukuyomi. I love Tokoyami. With his black
big fan.
It just is what it is.
Mineta,
grape juice.
Grape juice.
Love this name. I love this.
Well, okay, I'm gonna tell you where they missed out here.
Okay.
He should have been called Grape Drink.
Why? Besides Chappelle.
That's it. That's I'm glad you okay. Hey, as long as you can catch it, that's all I care about, bro.
Grape Drink would have been incredible.
Grape Drink I would have fell on the floor, bro. I would have fell on the floor.
Sugar, water, purple.
Grape Drink. We are too old, bro.
Oh my God. It's a shame that's an old joke now.
It's old, bro. That's an old ass joke, dude.
Oh my God. Koda becomes Anima. He summons animals.
Yeah.
Not the worst thing on earth.
Yeah.
Uraraka becomes Uravity. I like the name.
Yeah, that's hard.
It's a U. It's supposed to be a G, but it's a U. And the U changes the name kind of all together. Instead of you thinking gravity, it's like Uravity, and you're like, well, she floats. Does she
that's
float?
Hard. That's hard.
That's what you think. Midoriya is Deku because he's stuck with the name. Yeah.
And he has a crush.
Yeah. Tenya Iida just at this point remains Iida. He soon transforms to Ingenium. We'll talk about Iida.
Because Iida. Oh yeah, it's coming up, man. He pisses me off during this stretch, by the way. So yes.
We got plenty to talk about.
Yes, we do,
dog. With the most fire name of all. King Explosion Murder.
King Explosion Murder. I think I texted you when I first watched this episode.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, it's like
King Explosion Murder. Why not? I mean, why not?
That's him wrapped up in a
and they're like, change your name, and he says Lord Explosion Murder. And I was like, even better.
Even better. I'm about to say same shit,
man. So they're picking names, obviously, because now they have these internships, and they begin to learn. They start to go through these internships, and they begin to learn about internships. What I learned about internships, which they are very hit or miss, and you're either doing a lot or you ain't doing shit.
Right.
You're not doing anything of work. First of all, yes, non-paid internships need to die off. I don't care what kind of staple or this old guard mentality of like you gotta
that shit gotta stop, man.
By getting coffee and doing all these other things, and you gotta
that shit slavery, bro.
It builds you, and I was like, no, treat me like a regular person. Like, I'm here to learn. I can still learn, and you can pay me. Like,
right? Even if it is minimal, like you pay me, bro.
Yeah, if it's a great experience, and chances are, most times the experience itself is not worth all the torture you're put through.
Right.
Like, unless I am interning for Steve Jobs, and I know, like, Steve Jobs is a bad example. Unless I'm interning for who's a really powerful person that you would intern for?
Me?
Besides you.
Let's see. Really powerful person I would intern for.
Who would you want to intern for? What was it? If you
right
were to
now,
intern for a company,
probably like, I mean, I don't know, bro. Unfortunately, I'm gonna go with like some sports team or something. Like,
why not?
If I could intern for like
Rich Kleinman, who are we talking about?
Atlanta United or something, like with Arthur Blank, who also owns the Falcons. Whatever. So I would do that.
Right. You feel like you're getting the most out of that, Richie, even if they said they wouldn't pay you. But
I would take the chance.
I hope they. Yeah, I
would.
I
just
off.
They
would pay you.
Just off the environment and the atmosphere. I feel like they would too, though.
I feel like they would. I feel like they have respect for you as a person, and that
absolutely.
They would pay you. Nonetheless, internship. So Kirishima and our friend Tetsu are learning about being chivalrous with Fourth Kind, who is a hero that I find amusing because he has 4 hands and he has rings on all 20 fingers.
Yeah, iced out.
So
he's cool.
Uraraka is interning under Gunhead.
Mm-hmm.
Gunhead, Gunhead ends up teaching her kind of the art of like
some real
combat.
shit.
Yeah, which I learned myself. I was like, wait a minute, hold up now. I got to do what? Ring the wrist, bring them down.
It's possible.
Listen,
that was a fact.
They could have used her later in this arc. I mean, quite frankly, Yayorozu and Kendo from Class 1B. She is someone who has a quirk where she just makes her hand incredibly giant.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see that until season 3, but that is her quirk. Yayorozu and Kendo interns for the Snake Lady because she likes them because they are both incredibly cute.
Yeah.
And
how's that? Fair. How's that for sexist?
Yeah. Shout out to the Snake Lady. I forgot her actual name, but Snake Lady is what we call her. Mineta is put to work by Mountain Lady. Mineta thought interning under Mountain Lady was going to be something else, but Mountain Lady is something else. Mountain Lady
altogether.
Yeah, she's just
she's hilarious to me. Like I think
she's funny.
Great. Yeah,
she's
good.
Very
she's good, millennial.
Yeah,
the whole lady. Like, well, again, this is I keep like jumping ahead, but like how she feels about the whole dating thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's just funny, right. Like the way that she reacts to it.
No, you're right. You're 100% right. Asui is working with the Navy, ends up working with
good episode.
They'll show her. She gets an episode. She's supposed to be part of an episode and ends up getting like half the episode.
Yeah, but it's cool.
Yeah, it is what it is. Jiro, who we just talked about, what's her name? Earphone Jack. Mm-hmm. Jiro is working with Death Arms, so she's learning survival at this point. Shoto goes to work with Endeavor. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And my last, but the best one, Bakugo. Best genus. Oh my god.
Hey man, Bakugo, he wasn't taking advantage of the situation properly. Like he was getting fresh cuts, fresh, you know,
fresh denim.
Fresh premium denim. You know, I don't understand what the big deal is. Like, bro, like you're in a great situation. And I mean, what was Genus like ranked at that time?
He was ranked number 4.
Yeah, like what do you?
He was ranked number 4.
What's wrong?
Granted, and this is a spoiler alert. After everything everything goes down, even in the next season, he's still ranked higher. He's still ranked higher.
And that situation he was in, I don't know how he made it that high, but that's how you know how fire he is. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, like, he says he has so many different quotes, but he says, "May your mind and your body be as sharp as your genes."
Which
and
is
he
like,
says a lot of different things. Like,
get it tagged.
I want this thing to be sewn into your fabric of who you are, or like, you know, it seems, you know, he has all the puns for jeans.
Yeah, he's fired.
Obviously, his quirk is he can manipulate denim fabric. I don't know if it's just denim, but it's fabrics. He can definitely bring them out, and he uses them to his advantage. I love Best Genius. I'll say that.
Yeah, he's fired.
Yeah, he's 100% the best. Deku. So here's where we get into the Deku development part of the arc. So Deku's development with Gran Torino. Now, Gran Torino. How do you feel about Gran Torino? You've kind of seen how the series kind of goes this far. I don't think you've read too far into the manga. Trust me, he doesn't do much afterwards, but he kind of has a similar thing.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out if he had Alzheimer's or not.
No, he doesn't. It's a joke.
Okay, cool. Well, one thing that I notice is they always make, when people age, like they make them so short. Do you notice this in this anime?
Yeah. I do think you shrink with age, though. I think you.
I know, but they literally like, like they're small people. Like,
yeah, they do a flashback where he's a grown man fighting All Might, and he's a grown man fighting.
Even Deku's mom. Look at Deku's mom, bro. Like the same thing happened. Like she got really short and like little chubby. Yeah. But anyways, I really like Gran Torino. I think the name is fire. The costume is fire. The humor is great. And I think it's just a perfect way to kind of like bring Deku more, like intertwine Deku more with All Might's past. I think it was a great way to do it without, you know, bringing All Might in all the time. Yeah. Like this was just great, you know.
Because there's clearly reservations All Might has about, you know, informing Deku a lot about his past. Maybe that's because he sees kind of what Deku is and doesn't really want to rile him up or get him too worried or anything that could possibly turn him off to all of this. So he doesn't really want to include him in his past. But, Gran Torino, who was a mentor of All Might and also as we learn, ends up being All Might's predecessor's friend. And also, let me see if there were anything else. Not like lovers or anything, but like, I don't know if he trained her too or something like that. They end up being friends. They're, Gran Torino and cool. Nana Shimura, who throughout the entire series you learn about. They don't kind of give you all of her at once. You get pieces dropped pretty much every season thus far. You get a tiny little piece dropped about who she was, her history, what happens. And honestly, bro, I am imploring you to read this manga because I want to scream so many things. I want to scream so many things, but I can't because you haven't read it, and I know you don't care, kind of. I know you do.
No, I care. I'm still in Deku's dream. If that is enough to say without giving.
No, it's not. No,
yeah, that's where
I refuse to. I refuse to because it's so good.
It is so good. I'm not going to talk about it in depth, but yeah, it's amazing.
The things afterward are so good. You have to read it. I want to talk to you about it. I want to yell at you about these things. That's what I want to do. So I'm not saying you have to read it while you're out camping in the middle of the woods in the middle of nowhere, but in case you meet a critter in the forest or something along those lines, you can read them My Hero Academia.
Yeah, I mean, I text you as I learn new things, so you kind of know where I am. So.
Yes, of course. But yeah, I think you hit it right on the head. Gran Torino kind of pairs the past of All Might and Deku all together, and he becomes this figure, and he does it throughout the entire series. I mean, even now to the current part of the anime, it's still kind of going. I mean, not the anime, the manga, it's still kind of going on. Gran Torino is one of the only people who knows about One for All. He learned it as he taught at UA, where he taught All Might himself. For that one particular year. He was only in there for 1 year, and he managed to just kind of take All Might under his wing. But he knows about All for One for All. He knows about the predecessor. He kind of plays the conscience a little bit in a lot of different things. And most importantly, he's a very pivotal person in Deku's overall development as a character because he is the one who inspires One for All Full Cowling.
Yeah.
One for All Full Cowling is kind of a new maneuver that, and then it kind of becomes the maneuver that he uses. I'm not going to say it's his only thing.
It's not.
He develops.
He evolves.
More.
He evolves.
But as of right now, this is a major thing in his development because now we no longer see Deku blowing off every limb that he has in order to win a fight. He says, "Okay, I can't just put One for All into this one body part and at the full maximum percent because I'm not going to win every battle if I keep blowing myself up. But I have to manage to course it through my entire body and kind of pull it back." So it's at this point he kind of learns about the 5%, eventually evolves to 8%, eventually evolves to 20%. Spoiler, in the latest episode of the manga, he's at 45%. Wow. So he's learning a lot of these different things that, with full cowling that, okay, I can use my legs, I can use my arms, and now I can be actually useful in battle instead of useful for only how many fingers I have.
Yeah. Or his cheek.
Great. Very much so. I mean, I don't even want to know what else he would have used. Let's see. What do I want to get in next? Okay, there's this. Let's do a little interlude. There's a moment where we find out all about the Nomus.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Nomus.
Do you like them?
I like them because
I feel like they're just like a form of like villain filler. Like,
you think they're putties?
Yeah, like without actually getting into like direct things that they are going to tell us about. They just don't necessarily want to throw it at us. So they just created these weird beast creatures with multiple quirks, and I mean they're cool. Like, I don't get me wrong, I understand their purpose. I don't want to like disrespect them by calling them filler. I just feel like they're definitely right. I know, right? But like they're definitely they're just meant to give us a taste of the real thing later.
Nomus,
cool, but I don't know.
They're 100%. Nomus are obviously, in terms of the entire plot, are just part of the story of continuing to evolve and continue to kind of. This is where the seeds come together, where everyone begins to realize that it's not just the League of Villains who's behind this. It's all for one who is behind this, because there's only one man who can give people quirks, and for some reason they're here with multiple quirks and they're causing damage. The UA attack back in the day, it's one of those things. The USJ attack. This attack right here, I mean, Nomu show up out the wazoo. So Detective Tsukayuchi, wow, I'm getting good at Japanese.
You're knocking it out right now.
He says, okay, we've done all our policing work, DNA samples, semen samples, all types of things. We took it all from the Nobus. And we find out they're kind of original people. And here they are. The sick thing I want to tell you, there's more about Nomus, man. You got to read everyone.
So I will like them more at some point because of their origin.
There's so much. It's not that there's so much more, but there's a major thing about the Nomus that they're not currently telling us. Like, they're telling us they're part of like humans now, but like they like kidnapped people and made them into Nomus. But that's not really it.
Okay.
But you learn in the future. But yes, they are eventually. They do have host bodies, and they have been crammed with a bunch of quirks, and they have been manipulated into these ugly, gruesome bird brain looking beasts.
Yeah. Not a huge fan of the design personally, but
I mean, I
get their purpose.
They're supposed to be terrifying. That's what they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
In this arc, they are terrifying because they are kicking ass in this arc. He theorizes that, Detective Tsukayuchi theorizes that someone has the ability to grant other people quirks. And I wrote in my notes, this will become super important later.
Extremely.
Because it does. Yeah. And yeah, once again, this is how All Might kind of really begins to learn, like, oh, there's a link between the League of Villains and All for One. This is crazy. And he's like, damn it. I thought this fight was over.
I'm about to say that's the last thing he wanted to hear, bro. Like he looks down at his stomach. He's like, oh, damn it, man.
Damn it.
This is the last thing I want.
Yeah. Let's get into Hosu City. So there's a couple things surrounded around Hosu City, but first we have to get into Iida. No, you know what? Do we want to get into Iida? Yeah, you know what? Fine. Iida's part in this entire thing. And we're not going to get into the full thing. It's just kind of a prelude to everything that goes on. But Iida, who's gotten multiple agencies to call him for internships, he chooses the normal hero Manuel.
Right. Manuel.
I don't know if you could sound more vanilla.
I'm saying than just Manuel.
The normal hero, Manuel. And I'm like, wait,
what does he do? Like, what's normal about him?
Apparently his quirk, from what I've been looking at, and not that I haven't read anything, I'm legitimately looking at the episode. He controls water, but like, it's not like he can summon water. He can just control it. So,
but I mean, he could have had. Why is he called the I don't know.
Nah, I don't know. So Tenya chooses him because his agency is in Hosu City, and Hosu City is where his brother got F in the A, and got ruined completely.
Fucked up.
Yeah.
Got stretchered off.
He's done. He's done as a hero. He's just done. He's cooked. He's still, not at all. Tenya has revenge on his mind. He has so many different things on his mind. But yeah, it's just crazy. So I want to know, what are your thoughts on this entire motivation kind of thing for Tenya Iida? Because you said you got bars for him.
Yeah, no, I mean, he definitely needed this. Because I at first I wasn't really sure just how to handle his character. Sometimes he's like very like I didn't know if he was like with Deku sometimes, against him. It's just he was a weird character in the beginning, and like I don't really like his quirk either.
Sure.
I think like the character overall is a bit like, I just think he's kind of lame. So, but he definitely like he needed this. I think he needed it bad. But when you actually get into the whole Stain stuff, I feel like his resolve is so fucking selfish that like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
Oh,
I can't.
Stain got to you too, huh?
Stain got to me, bro. Stain got to me. So Stain is literally my type of like, you know, he's like my type of villain, like my type of anti-hero, you know, whatever you want to call it, like truly. So I just thought, you know, his actions were just so fucking selfish, man. And
right.
Obviously we're gonna get into it with Bakugo, with Shoto and Deku, and how kind of he was even talking to them. You know, it just pissed me off, man. I just didn't like it.
Well, listen. Speaking of selfish, because we are definitely talking about it's kind of a selfish thing. It's anger, it's vengeance, it's all this things bubbling inside, and he isn't telling anybody. I love that there's this little moment. There's this moment where Deku and Uraraka, they're at the train station, and it was like, Iida, is there anything you want to talk about? And he's like, nah, I'm good. And he's like, are you sure? And he's like, nah, I'm good. And then Deku was like, at that moment, I probably should have pried more.
Right.
But I didn't.
Yeah, so he felt bad.
Yeah, he blames himself, and you know, it's a life lesson. Like, even if you know that their problems is your friends, it doesn't. If you think it could be something that could end up being potentially harmful, you see all the steps. You see the Hosu part. You see his attitude just changing and demeanor changing. It's like, you know what? Ask. Why not? But speaking of selfish, let's slide on over to the League of Villains. The League of Villains are trying to, well, two of them. It's not much of a league.
Yeah, not quite. It's getting there though.
It's Shigaraki and Kurogiri. They're at whatever hideout they are at, which is like a bar. It's like an abandoned
it's literally bar. a bar. Yeah, it's a bar.
And I love that Kurogiri is like the bartender. And he's like consistently behind the bar. It's like, are you really a bartender?
Like is he serving? Or like...
Yeah, or you just warp guy? Like, I think you're just warp guy. But you know what? And
he's OP as fuck, by the way.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's OP as fuck.
And then, of course, there is the computer that sits there that hosts All for One's, like, you know, operating system or whatever it is. But, and links them between him and them and all this other stuff. But the League of Villains are trying to recruit Stain because, you know what, they're like, I like the cut of his jib. I like that he's kills so many heroes. He's going to be good for us. And Shigaraki's like, no, I don't fucking want him.
Fuck that guy.
Kurogiri's like, you need people. Relax.
Whoever does his dub is amazing, dude.
Oh yeah, for sure.
His voice is really good. Like he's very like without saying "fuck out of here," you can just hear it in his tone. Like,
but it's because he's childish, right? Like he has again, manga, all this other stuff. But he's childish. He hasn't had much of the development growing up as he used to before. And so it ends up becoming childish, and Stain sees that off rip. Stain, you know, he's like, where Stain asks him what's his motivation. He's like, I want to kill All Might.
Right.
And this little kid, too, like, gets on my nerves. And Stain looks at him, and he's like,
what's wrong with you, nigga?
You just like the rest of them, aren't you?
Yeah, he's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
These false, you know... He says one thing, I mean, I'm going to quote Stain a couple times here, but he said, the city is full of false champions. That's how he pretty much considers heroes. And Stain has his own ideology, which is completely different than everybody else. And that's kind of why he chases after heroes. And it's admirable in one sense because it's something that you can cling on to. Because legitimately, like, people start clinging on to this, and like villains start clinging on to this, and everybody else, and his words and all this other stuff like that. So it's motivation, this thing, but he doesn't see that in Shigaraki. He sees the same linear, you know, only motivated by vengeance, only motivated by this. He's literally legitimately motivated by the same things the heroes are, which is like attention and all these other stuff. And he's like, you're a petulant child too. They make sure to do that. That like, because Shigaraki, he has tantrums.
He absolutely does. Just throws them.
I hate him. Like, I dislike him so much.
Right.
Why do you have to kill my Nomu? But, you know, they see like, yo, we can't agree on, he says, to one of my favorite parts is like, we can't agree on a basic level, and he annoys me.
Like that's it. It's like, yeah, this guy's definitely a fucking rugrat, dude. Like,
he's like, yo, who do you think you are? You think you're cool? You think you're cool with your little knives thing? And he almost did. I mean, they try to have a meeting there, and the meeting ends with both of them getting stabbed.
Yeah. That's okay. That's normal shit. Normal shit.
Oh my god. It's like you leave one scene where they're trying to talk to him, and you get back one scene, and like Stain is mounted over, Shigaraki with like a knife in his shoulder, and like it's like Kiri help. Like Kiri's like, my shoulder's also been stabbed.
Right.
So you know what? They can't agree on a basic level. So how are they ever gonna make it work? So he's just like, warp me out of here. And he's like, sure, whatever. Then we're all aligning at the same point here. So Hosu is going to be the kind of alignment thing. So this is where we're all heading with all these things. So Deku and Gran Torino are heading to another city to do work. I think it's somewhere in Japan, Shibuya. I think it was. So they're heading over there because they're like, oh, my small town doesn't have a lot of crimes. We're gonna go over there at night. We're gonna ruffle with the bullies. We're gonna be out here.
That's it. Go home.
Yeah. But their train is attacked by a Nomu. And Nomu comes. It's the green Nomu, which when you learn later down the line, it's actually the weakest kind of Nomu.
So he wasn't shit?
No, he wasn't shit at all. There's classifications of Nomus. And it pretty much, if you watch season 4, that thing that Attack Endeavor is the biggest, baddest Nomu there.
Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, shit.
Yes.
He better be. Yeah.
Dog's eye. Like, I mean... Then the second highest Nomu is the one at USJ that attacked All Might that he had to use like 8 German suplexes to actually beat. The third highest Nomu is the one that's in the city who Endeavor is also tussling with. And then the fourth one is pretty much whatever shit flies through this window. So Nomu flies in. Gran Torino comes in. He gets ready. Tulsa is like, yeah, I've been waiting for this action, jumping off trains and shit. And Deku sees fire off in the distance. It's Hosu City. He's like, yo, I've also got to jump because I also need to save people.
Even though he was told,
stay on the train.
Stay on the train, bro.
But like, stay on the train for where? Like, I don't know where I'm
it's
going.
Not like, he should have, like, Gran Torino should have known this man ain't sitting on this fucking train, boy.
I ain't staying on this fucking train. I don't know where I'm going. I end up in Shibuya and you're dead. Like, how am I fucking supposed to get back home? So he jumps off the train, heads over to Hosu. It's a whole thing. All right, now the setting is Hosu. So Hosu is going through its own thing. So at some point after the whole Stain thing, after he warped Stain out, he was like pretty much warped Stain, and Stain's like, I'm out of here.
Right.
Nuts this. I'm back in the shadows of Hosu.
Pretty much Shigaraki's like a gargoyle.
Shigaraki's like, I hate this guy so much. And then they show a little passing of him acting all for one. He was like, are you done with any Nomu? And he's like, yes. And he's like, I want 6 of them. And he's like, you're getting 3.
Right. But he listened, though.
He's like, and let this be a lesson. Like, I hope this is end up a lesson to you. So he unleashes 3 Nomu onto the city. They're out here. They're killing, destroying. There's the green one. There's the beige one. There's the black one. So it's all going down in Hosu City. The hero killer's back on the loose. The Nomu's back on the loose. Everyone is going crazy. Manuel is trying to look for Iida. Iida has disappeared because Iida senses the hero killer Stain in this alleyway, killing this hero named Native, who I'm assuming he's killing him for it's got to be cultural appropriation at this point.
You think so? Oh man. You think he pulled up on you?
False like, heroes. With your appropriation. You have no respect for the culture of Native Americans.
What land are you from?
Yeah. Bro, I'm just from Shibuya. I'm from Hosu. It's
poor guy. Man. This man just woke up and had these Native American powers and shit.
Yeah. I don't know what Native American power, unless he has the same power as the dude from the Justice Friends. The Native American guy who just becomes like 80 feet tall. I forgot his name. Gosh. I don't remember.
I should know this. I should know this.
I just know his opposite's name is Solomon. I think it's Solomon. No. Fuck. what is his name? The giant native. All right, now I gotta Google it. Giant Native American guy Justice League. Or is it Friends? Apache Chief. There we go.
Apache Chief, huh?
He was also kind of pale.
That one will never get to live action. No, for sure.
No, the Super Friends. Oh, I remember the Super Friends.
Yeah, man.
God damn. Stuff. It's a 1985. It's a 1973 show, but they sure showed it a lot in the 90s. With that said, there's a lot of things going on, but Iida pulls up on Stain and is like, I've come here to avenge my brother Ingenio. You unjustly killed him, injured him, all these other things.
Yeah. It's like he went in blind, bro. He went in blind because
I think that's our basic thing. Yes.
It really is, because at the end of the day, it's like, yo, he didn't think once, if this guy did this to my brother, what the fuck is he gonna do it to me? It was all like revenge thought out, which is not how you want to be as a hero. Period.
No, he didn't go in with a plan. He didn't know what his villain's quirk was.
Yeah. He
didn't know what are the things he's known for. Like, if anyone who went in knowing everything, it was Deku. When Deku shows up randomly out the blue, Deku was like, I remember him. I saw him from Mad News Reports and other shit. It's like, well, thank you for doing research on, first of all, this guy that 20 minutes ago you weren't even going to find.
Right.
But this guy has been plotting it out for weeks, and he doesn't know anything about him. So, Stain, first of all, incredibly cool fighter, incredibly look.
Great design, man. Great design.
Just weapons.
I was really impressed.
Backstory, everything. He doesn't have a nose, but
doesn't have a nose, but it works. It works.
It doesn't. It just works. He's just a cool fighter overall. So, but anyway, he stabs Tenya because
why not?
Yeah, if you thought kids weren't going to get it too, you were sadly mistaken. He stabs Tenya, which activates his quirk, Blood Curdle.
Blood Curdle.
And, you know, it just is. Tenya is now paralyzed. Now he has to watch a native about to be massacred before he's massacred on his own. But before any of that can actually happen, Deku shows up, full cowling.
Boom.
Full power.
Socks his ass.
Punch him. And I was like, yeah, I mean, that's the point where you're just, it was fucking fire. Yes, but Deku has a plan. He's like, oh, I know this guy's quirk. I know all this other things. He texts someone a location. He's like, oh, I'm just trying to keep all my bases. You know, how am I supposed to just run into this without people?
This man Shoto got there and was like, next time, try to give me more information. It's like, hey, what? You see the situation? Like,
don't just text your location and think I'll find you. And you know what? To be fair, if someone texted me or I mean, I guess now I would find it as a distress call watching this anime.
I mean, in their world, obviously, you're like, Deku wouldn't just send an address. So
yeah, so you know, you'll see. But yes, Deku shows up. He gets a little tussle, a little rumble with the Stain a little bit. But he thinks he got him. He uses his 5%. He's like, oh, he's mixing him up a little bit. He's like, oh shit, where are you? And he's like, oh, he's actually above me. And like Deku socks him again.
Yeah.
But doesn't even realize he got swiped.
He got cut a little bit, little cut.
Yeah, he got cut in the process. The quirk goes in.
Now you see Stain licking his blade.
And he's like, oh my God, yes. Like, I can't feel my legs anymore. This is so crazy.
Such a crazy power.
But Stain is like, it's so amazing. It's like, wow.
It's crazy.
Who thinks of that? But Stain's like, I'm not here to kill you because you're fire. Like, obviously you're a kid who was here to be a hero and just hero.
He was like, I respect you. Stain you can run if you want. You can get out of here.
Stain loves the heroes of the old days. He doesn't like the hero system that they kind of created, which is built on fame and all these other things. He likes when people save people
for no reason.
Off the strength. Off the strength of saving people. Like, you know, he wants to restore the feeling, but in a way where you don't feel your legs.
Right.
But he goes through, he's about to kill thing, and then of course Shoto shows up with the fire, and everyone notices, oh my God, he's using the fire. That's fucking cool. Like,
that was a hype moment. Yeah, it was a hype moment for me.
And he's like, yeah, but you know, it's just fire and ice. He's trying to fight Stain off, and he's doing a great job, but he's just using his fire and ice, and Stain is like, you depend too much on your quirk. And he's like, now's not the time to be critiquing me about this shit. Right,
fuck that shit.
Yeah, because I'm just going to continue using it because you haven't touched me yet. But but he gets really, really close. And I love at the point where they're talking about like, how does this man, because Deku starts to recover and he's just like, how does this happen? Like, he was the last one thing, and he's like, it could be 3 reasons. It could be his power, decreases over time, something else, or blood types. And I'm just like, wow. And they're on the floor like paralyzed. That's it. What's your blood type?
I'm an O negative.
I'm AB. Like,
I'd have been like, oh shit, let me call my mom real quick now.
I don't know my blood type. I swear to God.
No, I'm with you. That's why I've been like, yo, Stain. Hold on one second. Let me
call my mom. Hold up.
Call my mom real quick. She's gonna know.
Todoroki, he has this moment. It's all coming together. We get the moment where he talks to his mom that we kind of ended off last episode, right?
Right.
So we get the follow through. He talked to his mom. His mom was like, yo, I forgive you. Go be the best hero that you can be. Don't worry about the thing with your father. I'm much better now. Like, everything. So he gets that kind of closure and is able to kind of release and be himself, which is amazing. Absolutely. Shout out to that. But then also Deku gets paralyzed again at some point during this. But, he just is. Deku's the one putting boots to asses. Like, he's going to get paralyzed.
Yeah, he's fighting the hardest.
They fend off they're fending off while Tenya begins to regret everything that he's going through because of his own rage.
As he should.
Yeah, he's seeing that his motivations were not Ingenium-esque or hero-esque, and he goes back to see why he became a hero, and he's like, listen, and it's something that Deku says, like, remind yourself why you wanted to be your hero in the first place, and let that be your guide. And he's like, damn, that's crazy.
That makes sense.
Todoroki's about to get his whole shit washed. Tenya gets up, reciprocal bursts through it, kicks a sword in half, clean in half, and saves him.
It was a cool moment.
It was fucking fire. I'm glad I didn't read this in the manga, because if I had to do this week by week, I would have fucking been in.
You would have been hot, dude.
I would have been in shambles. So everyone's starting to get unfrozen again, and they kind of end the fight with this, like, it's this double hit between Deku and Iida. Iida manages to kick. I'm skipping a lot, obviously, but Iida manages to kick thing in the ribs. Deku punches him in the face, and then there's a little bit of a mix-up all afterwards, and Todoroki ends up burning him. Stain is knocked unconscious from the burns.
Yeah.
And they find some rope in the trash can or something.
Yeah, I don't know where this rope came from. That tape man, whatever his fucking name is, would have been great right now.
Would have been great there. Sero, yeah, would have been great. Elbow tape is his name.
Elbow tape.
It's not. It's cellophane.
Cellophane.
But back on Nomu Boulevard, there are like 10 villains. I mean, there's 10 heroes who are like, we can't stop this thing, man. They're like surrounding him, and I'm like, use your quirks and stop complaining. Nomu's wrecking the shit out of all of them. Endeavor shows up. He's out here tangling with them. He throws fire spears in the air. He burns in Nomu's head clean off. He's like, oh, you got regeneration? You can't regenerate cells that are completely burned, and just burns his head off. Like, just fucking burn. I was like, that's so incredible. But yes, Endeavor really showing up and showing out and proving he's a strong number 2 hero in all of this. Who would have thought?
Amazing. I needed to see it, although, he's still a jackass.
I would have. We could have all done without. I mean, there had to be something worthy of number 2, despite like all the shit that he's done to his family and all this stuff. It was like, oh, that's why he's number 2, because he shows up with a plan. He comes straight forward. He burns people's head off and all this other stuff. So the Nomus are done. The heroes run over to the location of where the hero killer are. They find the 3 heroes back up, completely all ruined and massacred and all this other stuff, but they also find the hero killer taped up, and they're like, oh wow, that's the hero killer. This shit is crazy. Oh my god. And then a Nomu flies out of nowhere and steals Deku, like
steals him, like swipes him out the sky.
I was like, what? And there was like, duck, and he's like, what? And just gets taken up in the air. It is Stain who kills this Nomu. First of all, the Nomu's blood from being thinged by Endeavor manages to get on the lady. He shows up, he licks the lady's face.
Yeah, isn't that What is that?
I don't know. He just licks the lady's face. His tongue looked disgusting.
Yeah, it was nasty.
It licks the lady's face, but manages to paralyze the thing, and he saves Deku and he saves Thing, but everyone is just so shook.
Yeah.
And first of all, Shigaraki is like, "Why'd he kill my Nomu? I hate this."
Yeah, that just made it worse. Yeah.
But then Stain has this moment. It's so crazy. It's this final moment. It's the most badass moment that there is. It is a moment where he looks at all the villains, and it's just his words are heavy. His power.
He drops a bomb on
his
him,
words. He's like, "You false heroes, I'll make this right. These streets must run with the blood of hypocrites. Hero, I will reclaim that word. Come on, just try and stop me.
So hard,
fakes. There is only one man I'll let kill me. He is a true hero. All Might is worthy." And you see the aura. It's like coming and it's attacking.
Yeah.
Everyone's shook. Even Endeavor is like frozen.
Yeah.
And it's one of the scariest moments. And then he legitimately, there's nothing that happens afterwards. He gets frozen. He drops his knife. Yeah, fireworks. He drops his knife, and he's gone. I mean, so initially I thought he was dead.
I thought he was dead too, but
until I learned that he was
out, basically. Right?
Yeah, he just passed out. His lung ended up.
Oh yes, right.
Something. One of his ribs ends up puncturing his lung or something.
Yeah.
And he just passes out while standing up, and it's so fucking cool. And
it is cool because he's just sitting. He's just like on his knees, right? Like
and everyone's still frightened, and everyone's frozen just as much as he is, and it's so crazy. And that is kind of the end of the Stain arc in a sense. Let's do a little bit of an aftermath because there is aftermath, of course. Hospital scene. Everyone's talking about, man, I shouldn't have done this. I'm sorry I brought you into this, and all this
fucked up.
And it's like, it's okay, whatever. And then the chief of police comes in, who is a dog. Woof! That's my favorite part.
That's my favorite part. Like,
Deku's like, woof!
It's like, oh, well, he is a dog, bro.
First of all, their hospital gowns are way better than our hospital gowns.
Absolutely. We need those.
They got pants, they got a top. All we got are gowns with the ass out. I don't like it. I love Todoroki's energy in this as well, where
I do too, bro. He's like,
the chief of police is like, you disobeyed the rules, and he's like, well, someone could have died, and it was like, is that any case for you to disobey the rules that we've set in our society?
Yes, actually.
And he was like, so we weren't supposed to do anything, and he's like, your teacher and your agencies must not have taught you shit. And he was like, you damn mutt.
Yeah, dog. Like, it's the police, bro. Shout out Shoto for this shit, man. We all felt this way.
You damn mutt. And then he was like, wait, hold him, hear him out. And then he says, all right, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna pull a little. We're gonna do what we're kind of really, really good at it, which is covering it up. So what we're going to do is that we're going to say that Endeavor is the one who captured, Stain, and none of you guys were involved at all. So you guys don't get punished. Endeavor gets all the glory. You don't get all the glory, but you get to go scot-free.
Yeah,
I don't get to arrest any of you. And then he thanks them. And Todoroki's like, you could have started off with that.
Yeah, that's real shit, man. I had us scared.
You mutt.
Yeah.
And then my favorite part, and we're wrapping this entire episode up, but my favorite part comes where they kind of realize the fact that Stained words begin to grow beyond that moment. Someone managed to record it. They got it out. They sent it on YouTube. It has millions of views. It keeps getting taken down, but he went viral. Yeah. His words went viral. It begins to inspire everybody. And this is my favorite moment. One of my favorite moments of the series, because legitimately the tone of the entire thing shifts from just being heroes versus villains to now including all these motivations and ideologies behind everyone doing and people following that. People don't follow. There's no lines between evil and good. It's not an evil versus good thing. It's I believe this and I believe that and I believe
that's what it is. Flat out.
And everyone you see, we're seeing some foreshadowing. We see Dabi showing up, and we see Toga, and she's out here doing some things.
Yeah.
And so we see and we learn that this is going to become, Gran Torino tells All Might, this is going to be something that continues to fuel the League of Villains. Like, once they see this ideology against heroes and all this other stuff, it's going to become widespread, and it's going to affect everything. All for One's return is all but confirmed in the last moments of episode 31. And he says, I think you should begin to tell Deku everything you know and everything you've experienced, and stop keeping this from him, because it's about to go down. And if they manage to build this army that they've wanted to build, it's going to be much
bad.
It's going to be bad. I'll say this: major fucking foreshadowing. Major foreshadowing. So, yeah, I mean, that's all that we've got for this episode. It's my favorite arc of this entire thing.
So good.
It's so much that's influenced, so much that works in it, so much that, there's just so much action. I think everyone's going to love, if you love violence, you'll love Stain, because Stain is violence, and that he just has his 5 knives, daggers, machetes, all this other shit. Like, he just is. But then his ideology is just so like, wow, that's incredible. Like,
it's so extreme.
You buy into it.
You buy into it. Yeah. No, 100%.
Yeah, I'm like, I get it. Yeah, I get it. And everyone begins to buy into it too. And that's what we'll get into on the next episode. Next episode is going to be the fallout from Stain and everything that happens forward in the series. And then we're also wrapping up, because these niggas got final exams, because they are kids.
They are kids.
So they got final exams. It's a duo final exam. They're going up against their teachers. It's going to be crazy. Thank you guys for tuning in. First of all, thank you, Jeff. You're in the middle of the woods.
Oh, man, it had to happen. I had to come do this, man. 100%.
Middle of nature, just doing the damn thing. So shout out to you for being able to pull it off as well.
I'll be home soon.
Once again, thank you guys for following The Lookout. You can follow The Lookout at The Lookout RNC on Twitter. You can follow The Lookout RNC on Instagram. You can follow RNC Radio Live, where you can continue to hear a lot more stuff from us on the network. And yeah, we'll continue to be back as long as you guys have us. So thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back next week.
Yeah.
See you then.